Still surprised we haven't seen a Dark Willow squeak out yet in this series.
Yeah, that's been so popular and effective is the thing. Like some of these heroes, get picked a lot and you're like, well, they seem okay, but not game winners. Stuff like, the Tiny first pick, which is not being first pick this game, but was very much a go-to for IG in game 1 is, being ignored. But Willow, I feel like, always having a big impact, winning a lot of games. And being picked now? No, they're going to.
Would have been perfect. Yeah. Tusk picked up to kind of give them a solution against the chain stun again. Now, last game, it good in theory. It didn't really see it in execution too many times, and by the time he would get him, usually the guy was already very low or dead, just because IG was so good at throwing stuns. But it certainly makes it hard for IG, and it definitely forces them to usually roam as 5 is one benefit, because it's like, if I show up with 2 heroes in gank, and we have to use every stun just to kill that one guy, if Tusk shows up, there's not enough to go around, and he's going to be able to save him every time. So minimum, maybe it makes IG 5-man more, is one benefit perhaps.
Always like Tusk when you have like cores that can get kills easily too, and that's definitely Weaver. We saw the same thing last game. You have an Ench in one lane, that's a very high kill potential lane, even before level 6, but even more so at level 6, so something that sounds good on paper.
I feel like Winstrike's lacking major lane winners though. Like Weaver is good, Silencer is good, but they don't have anything that looks really scary to me, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Tusk is potentially useful, but against Mirana, not the best.
Yeah, she's got the escape, and definitely maybe something where you don't want Tusk laning wherever that Mirana goes.
Like, IG's basically just not showing very much of their hand right now. Maybe both teams, you could argue, are doing that partially, but...
Yeah, the Weaver has that flexibility between at least the side lanes. Very rarely played in the mid lane. Also possible.
And I feel like this ends up benefiting Winstrike a little bit better, since the second pick is in IG's hands, so they're forced to pick 4 of their heroes here. Winstrike's going to get 2 response, and they go for a Doom. Another way to just pretty much guarantee that you're going to kill a Weaver, or at least make sure he doesn't do anything. The hero is so balanced around his second skill, Sakuchi, that you can go invisible for 4 seconds or 3 seconds every 6 seconds. It's so important. If you just get doomed, you're not going to be able to chase people down, you're not going to be able to escape, and usually you just end up being easily killed.
Yeah, so you think the Doom is primarily designed as the Weaver counter here?
It's got to be, right? Like, it's by far the best solution. You can still, like, Tusk, Snowball save him a little, but...
They already had, I guess, 3 stunts, which is where it's like, it seemed overkill almost to then dedicate a 4th pick just for that, so I'm wondering if they have something else in mind with the Doom. I mean, it is a strong laner. You're pairing it with a Nyx, so you've got this Nyx Doom, 2, like, melee, very tanky, hard to deal with heroes. You don't want to get up close to them.
That dude's banning someone now.
It's just reliable, right? And it doesn't need a lot of heroes necessarily. And also, it's another initiating hero. It's a lot safer than something like Nyx. Blink Stunning Doom can just go for a War Stomp, and if you grab the right heroes, then it can set up your team as well. I just think it's good benefit, I guess.
It'll be a BKB buyer. Got to imagine against Global Silence 2 at some point.
Yep.
So give some solutions there. Also, if you do get Snowball saved, if someone Doom gets Snowball saved, well, after the Snowball, they're still Doom. They're not going to be doing all too much.
I would say that Doom laning against Weaver doesn't sound good much at all.
No.
Like, you're not going to get hits off. He's going to just go invis. He throws bugs on you. You're already at 0 armor to start, so he's just going to do a ton of damage. If paired with either Tusk or Silencer, both of those sound pretty good against Doom. So maybe the Doom pick a little weird?
Yeah, so the Weaver has been played by both Silent as well as Non-Grata, and I think it was about 50-50 split, so you see this Doom, I feel like you are more inclined to run Weaver against him because of that. As for the Tiny, that's a hero I know Iceberg can play, but similarly can go into the side lanes as well.
Maybe a status resistance solution as well. Still no Necro in the game. We saw that Tiny was quite effective against the last game.
Look at all these stuns. I mean, Doom as well can affect, but the stuns particularly. You have Tiny on the front lines as like your scouting initiating hero. Doesn't matter as much if you get stunned.
They do have Venge, so they have Amp and minus armor, so that's one solution. They can kill him semi-rapidly, but if Tiny's in the front tanking hits and Tusk can back him up, then I think that's a better way than what we saw last game to deal with enemies. Like, Necro was useful, but can't deal with chain stuns very well. You do still need to move, cast Death Pulse every 5 seconds kind of a thing.
I was expecting them to maybe look to draft more around the Venge. It felt like this amp up your physical damage, reduce enemies' armor, should lead to more of these ranged right-clicking carries coming out. That's what we saw some of the teams do quite effectively.
Yeah.
These BKB cores, you BKB, but my Venge swaps you in, waves you, and you get right-clicked down by like a Shadow Fiend, for example, was one better partner set.
And they still can do this a little bit. I mean, Doom can take a creep. You can grab an Alpha Wolf, free 30% bonus. maybe Mirana goes
like,
more
who's
right-click heavy?
Right-click, yeah, Mirana can right-click. That's very true.
Diffusal or something.
And hopefully their last pick. I'd love to see that Shadow Fiend, that... I don't know, Wind Ranger. Ooh.
Okay.
Now you got to kind of... That's you've got 30 seconds to think, because this Lycan is a hero they were probably not expecting too much to come out.
And this is certainly going to be what messes up Mirana. It's the things. They've got Alpha Wolf, or they've got Wolves, they've got Summons. Those are going to block arrows. They're going to chase down Venge in a lot of cases. They'll chase down Nyx and Doom. Those are heroes that don't really want to get mana drained or right-clicked by a lot of little units.
Your whole team's getting run at, and Doom is not good against Lycan really at all, because he's just going to ulti and summon stuff, and then there's no point dooming him, so they get an Invoker last pick. Whoo!
Okay, so this, if he goes Exhort, it's going to make all the stuns much, much better. On the bright side, Doom is going to lane well against Lycan initially, at least. He's a melee hero, go for some easy Inferno Blades. Baboko will be playing the Nyx Assassin. The Q Venge, nothing surprising.
So IG have not played Invoker all group stage long, and they busted out here. They're facing elimination. XXS, you know, this guy's like, pick me Invoker. He's going to be trying to do his best miracle impression this game, because there is a lot of weight on his shoulders.
I mean, they definitely have like carry potential damage issues, but this way at least they can go burst heavy. And if you're playing against a Weaver carry, and you chain stun that guy, or stun him at all and get a Sunstrike, almost always he's going to be punished until at least like the 20-minute mark, if he isn't backed up by allies. So I actually kind of like it in this way. Like, it's kind of similar to having a Void and a Chronosphere. It's like you have a pretty easy way to kill Weaver repeatedly. They're still going to have trouble with Tiny. Lycan is probably also going to be an issue, but they've got stuns to go around, and they can pressure him in lane with the Doom. Maybe it can work.
Yeah, I even wonder, but do you consider the Quaswex build? Because that's probably a build that's better against the Lycan, but the Exort build kind of synergizes better with your team, like you mentioned. They've got so many sebs for the Sunstrike. You can kind of play more aggressive, but it also leaves you very exposed, because once Lycan comes alive, if you get run it and you're an Exort Invoker, you're kind of just dead.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. I just feel like the benefit of Sunstrike is way too good to pass up, is the way that I'm looking at it, I guess. I guess Tusk can still save people from some of these stuns. It's not like they're invulnerable. But Quaswex is good against Weaver, drain his mana, good against Tiny, drain his mana. A lot of heroes that you can mana drain, but I feel like Exort's just going to be better in some ways. But we'll see. The game is surely about to start in just a second. We'll see how the lanes turn out. That's going to be super impactful. So Winstrike stomped the lanes last game, put them into a good spot. Maybe IG can turn around the other way this time.
Here we go. Their strength in the Dota 2 scene, and have done very well to have multiple teams represented here, although not many of them in the upper bracket. I know Newbee are actually playing on the other stream in some tiebreakers to try and join LGD there, but right now IG's eyes are set on just squeaking on through the groups. Really move down bottom.
So their dual lane looks to be a Doom plus Venge, a little scarier. Doom's gonna run for his life. And the shards? No, they thought he was going to juke through the trees, but SRF realizing, oh, there's a Tusk, this would be a terrible idea, and he just goes for the wide open lane and ends up escaping.
Same play we saw last game, with the 4-man rotation down bottom with the Ice Shards. IG need to set their eyes on the top lane, you got to imagine here. Q needs to be careful, Ice Shard should be coming up soon. He actually presses quite far forward here. Luckily for him, Tusk had already kind of ventured off.
His skill's been nerfed a lot anyways, 23 seconds, level 1. Good luck, man. So he's roaming back towards the top lane. This means they really need to get the bounty on Winstrike's side here.
Are they trying to contest this one? He's going to get there soon. He may be able to block the Nyx's retreat. Impale on Baboka. Is he going to land it? Who's going to get this one top? He hits the Impale and gets the bounty rune. I mean, one apiece. Does Tusk get a good Ice Shards off here to pressure Baboka? Can't really kill him, I want to say. Lots of HP regen on Nyx, but could get some good additional damage and harass. Hit another Shukuchi going for the body blocks. Maybe could actually find a kill here if he can trap him in an annoying place in the trees. TP out is possible. Baboka going to get an arrow to help him out. And he's going to start right-clicking here with the Mirana to back him up. Baboka's got an Impale soon, but he's very, very low here. May need to drop another Tango as both teams trading right-clicks here. Shukuchi has a very long level 1 cooldown, but aggressive. Realizes he's in a 1v2 kind of scenario with Baboka already running away as well.
Decent trade so far. In the mid lane, both XSS and Iceberg has taken a lot of damage. Iceberg accidentally using a Fairy Fire here. Not the worst thing, but small mistake. Could add up later.
See our 3 lanes here. Q at bottom is going to be pulling creep waves from behind the tower. And will be the straight up 1v1 Tiny versus Invoker mid. And the what looks to be very aggressive dual lane versus dual lane up top from both sides. Tusk plus Weaver up against Nyx Mirana. Impale missing up top, so no arrow follow-up.
Just seems like the same kind of plan. Just if you're Dire off lane, pull the creep wave around, especially when they don't have an ability to stop you. Like Silencer can't really do anything, you just walk away pretty much. And Q doing a nice job, he ends up only aggroing part of his creep wave. And as a result, it means that these 2 creeps are going to be fully denied and able to give himself experience. And that means less gold for Winstrike on their side.
Down, yeah. And Doom can actually keep them here and keep tanking behind the tower until the next wave meets if he wants to keep the lane pulled really far back. Back at top lane, bottom lane, Venge is pushed very far forward, trying to get to the shop here. Needs to be careful, but Lycan is not really a hero known for his kill potential in lane. Some Wolves do go scouting. Could see some blocks or plays made from these as Always Wanna Fly continues the Glaive's harass. Gets Q nice and low. He
played that really well. If you can cast Arcane Curse right before your opponent casts a spell, that's where you get the bonus damage, and pretty much doubles the damage that your skill does, and he caught Q in that one.
Yep. Made Iceberg. 2 points in the Avalanche, going for what harass he can, winning the CS war early on against Invoker. This is pretty standard. Tiny level 1 with Tree Grab, very strong, very good at last hitting, has a big base damage advantage. The lane gets harder as Invoker gets
the slowest race for the regen I've ever seen.
Sunstrike actually landed, cancelling a bit of Tiny salve. Invoker realized he's going to lose the battle, and there was an Avalanche, so he just denies it. Smart play.
Not all bad. Always Wanna Fly also has the salve, pops it for the Tiny, so still pretty even. And XXS not even getting Quas yet, going for the fast alacrity because kind of needs to do this just because Tiny hits for 85 base damage at the start.
Makes sense. See Tusk now rotating towards mid lane, so kind of see a return of the roamers, I feel like, at TI. People talked about this being the 2-1-2 meta, got to pick strong dual lanes, but we've seen Earth Spirit, we've seen Tusk, we've seen Shaker, a lot more rotations towards the mid lane where they're going back to a pure 1v1, and it's no longer a 1v1 for XXS. He gets ganked and brought down by Asperg with the tree throw. Nicely played.
Really nice grab there. Hard for him to defend himself without Quas, can't go invis, even if he had the mana, so. Picks up the kill, so good start for Iceberg. And yeah, the roaming has been interesting. It seems like, I mean, trading heroes were everything. Even during qualifiers, it seemed like that's all that mattered, was to win your lane, basically. But now they care about other things in the game. Hero matchups, how effective you're going to shut down their carries in the mid game. Maybe just Dota has become a little bit less lane focused as teams have adjusted to it.
Back at bottom lane, a lot of harass coming out from both sides as Curse of the Silence going to keep coming out constantly, but it's back at mid where Iceberg actually gets solo killed XXS with the Chaos Meteor Cold Snap combo. The right clicks as well with Tiny zero armor just doing so much to him that it adds up and leads to a solo kill.
Another net worth is pretty much the same. Game's even again. Also going to do everything he can to zone his heroes. Tusk looking for a rune. You can find an illusion, it's okay. Not the best. I think you can bring your illusions with you if you snowball, and then you definitely want to go in here. Here's the Avalanche first. Ice shards as well, and they block him in, making him walk all the way around.
Didn't quite get the block he was hoping for, but the Nyx TP also deterring them from going further. Carapace doesn't actually stun anyone, and both teams will back off as we look back towards bottom lane where Q being bullied away by some summon wolves.
And because Boca had to rotate here, and they didn't even go all in. Oh, well, we might see a Lycan in trouble. Always Wanna Fly
got
here.
The swiftness aura from the Hellbear, and the right click damage. One more right click needed. No, it's going to be the wave don't even there. SRF gets the kill and walks away happy. Doom off to a good start here down bottom.
So with the Nyx having a TP, now that means Tusk can come back to the off lane and do some free damage to Mirana, at least force out one leap. He may go for a snowball chase here. Yep, great play there. Dodges the Starfall. Here's this follow-up stun. He's in a lot of trouble, actually. He's got 2 more leaps. Forces another out.
That's so good. And aggressive should just not be going for that Starstorm. A good Tusk player is going to dodge that one with the animation, but hey, here's the turnaround. The arrow is still up. Mirana needs to be careful. Out of leap charges. The Sunstrike actually finished off the kill, which is perhaps the best case scenario. Shikuchi coming up soon. Can Mirana juke this one? Doesn't go for the trees here. Non-grata won't get the Shikuchi. Could go for the right clicks, but isn't quick enough.
And now they're going to fight for the next bounty rune as Tusk comes for maybe an ice shard to block it.
Not there. Not needed.
So pretty even on the 3
back
for the dart.
Mid, Invoker doesn't have Sunstrike, does have the Cold Snap. Chaos Meteor is going to go for it. Does some decent damage here with the right clicks. Is this going to be enough? There's a tree throw if he gets too low. It's SRF back at bottom getting the kill onto Silence Lycan. The Fairy Fire keeping him alive for now. The toss is there and XXS goes down mid.
On bottom. Yeah, just barely staying alive here. Always want to fly. Losing his Lycan, but at least getting the Venge kill in response. Snagging his first into the game. Very even game. 3-4.
Needs to be careful not to get Sunstrike here when Invoker respawns. Silencer showing himself as well. That's the problem. Don't want to show yourself. He doesn't have TP for 10 seconds. Very unlikely to get Sunstrike, but
doesn't want to leave the lane. There's a friendly headdress.
He's throwing it. He's not going to land it.
Friendly headdress. He's got 2 mangoes. He's got plenty of regen here.
That's why Invoker threw that one there. He knew he was in those trees, just off the map.
It's open for a Twitch clip. That's all. Don't blame him.
We were ready for him. Next time. Next time, XXS. First Invoker, you know that he's played all tournament long. He's ready to make some highlight reels.
Got a sentry in the lane against the Weaver. Help limit what is Sakuchi can do. Looking for an arrow on the Tusk as well. Be a lot of damage.
Sunstrike's there. Going to finish off the kill. I like how he kind of leaves it for the Invoker, knowing that's going to be kind of the key hero for them this game. Didn't even try and right-click him down.
Just a great way to snowball him forward and get him a faster treads and Aghanim Scepter so that their mid-game fights will go better. That's really what they need. They need a lot of different spells to be able to deal with like Lycan units right at them. Even something like Deafening Blast can go a long way, and you don't always have the ability to get to defend that in a team fight unless you have Ags and can cast more spells.
SRF has actually gone for a max Scorched Earth build. Wonder if this is... I mean, I haven't seen too many of the Doom builds this tournament. I've seen it in a few games, just not the skill build, but I imagine this may be the way it needs to be played now with the amount of harass going down in some of these lanes.
Yeah, it's possible. Maybe a second Infernal Blade. Depends how much HP they have. Always on flying a lot of trouble once again here, but...
Non-Grad out top going to be the first one. Oh, no, Sakuchi away on a sliver of health. Back at bottom, always want to fly. Also survives on a sliver of health. Back at top, Q slowed down by the curse here. He's taking a lot of extra damage and duration because of this. Lycan Wolf gets ahead of him for the body blocks. Q in some trouble here. The Lycan maybe needs to help out. Turns around for a wave of terror. Doom helping out, devouring one of the wolves. He stuns the other one. I don't think that was intentional. I think he wanted to stun the hero there, and Q locked in by the ice shards as Winstrike will actually back off.
Ooh, No Fear ended up selling his Orb of Venom at some point, maybe to buy boots, and they're actually going to go aggressive now, wanting to kill Silence. Snowball's going to interrupt things, but they'll turn this around and go for him instead.
Oh, the Sunstrike not doing enough damage. Yeah, I think the Lycan Wolves helped tank it, and very nicely played. They will still kill off No Fear here. Silent being chased down as well by SRF, but the long cooldown on Infernal Blade means he can't really find these kills. He's got the kill. Oh, what a grip. It's a 20% chance. He'll take that. He's got an Infernal Blade here. I don't know if he wants to turn around. He just wants to run. He's got phase boots here. SRF has been owning. He's 3-0-1. He's going to survive. Iceberg TP'd out of mid lane, which means XXS is like, sweet. I'm going to hit the tower. I'm going to do some damage, get some good farm here. And what a bottom lane for IG. They've had a lot of success down here with the Doom.
I mean, he's just super tanky. He's got lots of regen. He has lots of damage as well. And the creeps he's been finding are great. Found a Hellbear, found an Alpha Wolf, and all of that just makes his trades simple. He's also got a huge boots advantage. Lycan hasn't finished his boots, trying to finish his Helm of the Dominator as fast as possible. So he's just running around like 400 movement speed compared to the 300 of Lycan. And Silencer can't stop him from running at his allies. So it's like this dual lane is just very limited against Doom.
It's overall seems like a slightly better start for IG. It is still Tiny well ahead of the Invoker on farm. Almost surprisingly, because they're quite even on CS, but Tiny with almost 4k net worth, Invoker a full 1,000 gold behind him.
I guess the difference is that Tiny has been getting some solo kills, whereas Invoker is just getting some little Sunstrike add-ons, which end up being like a three participation kill rather than a solo. That's most likely the biggest difference. Yeah,
his kills he's getting a small boost, so that changes now. He's also farming some jungle camps, which naturally just aren't going to give you quite the same amount of farm. Back to bottom lane, Winstrike go. Tiny rotating down here as well. Doesn't have a blink or Shadow Blade or anything of the sort. Could be tossing some teammates in, and Shapeshift is up with a Dark Troll Summoner. One of the very useful creeps to get here. 10-minute bounty runes coming up. The Sunstrike flying on out. That's going to land. Goodbye, Silencer. They're not going for bounty runes. They're going for the support kills here. Back to the tower goes the Doom. Unfortunately for him, there's a Lycan ultimate, and Winstrike want this Doom. SRF has been causing them so many problems. Got a lot of health regen here. Lycan's ultimate still got a decent amount of duration left, and that's going to be enough to get the kill. As Lycan does a very successful first shapeshift, and he gets solo kill gold for that. 550 gold at 10 minutes for Silent.
That's pretty huge. Let's start his Necro off a little bit faster here. Going the safe way back to safety.
Yeah.
And XXS even TPing, not going to find him.
Yeah, he thought he had a kill there. If you're TPing out of that mid lane as Invoker, knowing that a Lycan kill is a big one to find.
I mean, there was a good 15-second window. He maybe should have come. I don't know if he had TP off cooldown or what, but that's a big loss. Gonna have to walk all the way back to the mid lane. And in the meantime, Tiny still gain last hits. One hero that feels a little bit limited is definitely Weaver, though. They've done a really good job keeping sentries up on the top lane. Feels like supports haven't been able to spend time there, just because Silent's been having a rough time. So
yeah,
if he can catch up, that'd be great for Non-Grata.
In some ways, this feels more like the more typical traditional offlane meta where Tusk has been roaming and he got a little help top, but not that much. Tusk has been mid, has been bottom, has been prioritizing these other lanes, and we're not seeing that, hey, I got a dual lane, I win my lane off lane, like you often do.
Green dude's top.
But it's, you know, it's honestly not bad because I think Silent and Iceberg are typically the key plays for this Winstrike team, and both of those two are having a great game right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Possible Impale set with a Vendetta mid. Iceberg gets hit by the Vendetta, doesn't dodge the Impale after it, and now the full Chaos meter damage coming on through with an arrow as well. XXS finishes off the kill. Nice first Vendetta from Baboka.
And pro players are so good at doing arrow setups. I could never land these arrows. They just like know exactly when the hero's going to get stunned.
Yeah, you know, they communicate though. It's something that doesn't always exist in the old pub. Bottom lane, there's a Zatiu that gets eaten by SRF. He then turns around with a Doom. I don't know if he's got good follow-up damage. He's probably hoping for a Sunstrike of sorts here. Doom has a purge of his own. Where's the Sunstrike? It's going to land, split by the Wolves. Hit great play from Silent again. Nope. Can he get the deny? He does not. He went for it, but just couldn't quite do it. SRF wants more.
Is going to find the Tusk, but he realized at this point time to walk away, and that's a good snag. I mean, he devours the Helm of the Dominator creep, instant 200 gold. Yes, it's maybe a worse ability than he had before, but still gets the slow out of it.
The gold factor is definitely makes it kind of worth it. As top lane Non-Grata, he may have not had the best lane, but he's now got himself a tier 1 tower with the space being created. Doom even got to use the purge for that kill, which was really nicely done.
I love the items he picked up. He went Facey just to give himself more mana regen and his dual lane partner, and then he instantly got a buckler. He didn't go the raw HP from a vid booster. He just knows that I've got high HP. I'm going to be healing with Scorched Earth. I want to make the heal and the health that I have go farther rather than get a little bit more. It's so much better.
Oh, another arrow. Nyx setting these up. Didn't see if he actually hit the Vendetta, but you're almost better off just going for the Impale arrow to make sure he doesn't Shikuchi dodge it, and finds the Weaver kill for him and his teammate.
It's a hard kill to get, but yeah, good grab. Either way, Winstrike does have decent map control. They do take basically trading tier 1s, but also losing their mid one, I guess, so not as good for them.
IG is starting to pull away. They've got a 3,000 gold lead here. It's meant to be more like the Lycan team that's, you know, having this at least stable lane stage and turn that into a big mid-game push, but we're not seeing that just yet, and Winstrike may find themselves a little bit behind when they want to go and push some towers. Arrow, hoping for the Centaur, doesn't hit it. There's a lot of good things to kill these Helm creeps between the Arrow as well as the Devour. That's 2 insta-kills on Helm of the Dominator creeps, which give 200 gold these days.
It's very different than just
Invoker. XXS gets blinked on and caught out. There was actually an Observer Ward, not where perhaps Invoker will think it is, but across the ravine, which will spot him out there.
That seems to be the best one when you're looking to gank in that tri-camp area. Like, very, very unlikely gets D-Ward. It's not quite as obvious, and a lot of vision actually on both sides. Everybody's got a lot of wards up in good places. They're going to see always want to fly TP back, and instantly IG sprinting away. But there still are 3 Winstrike heroes hitting mid. They'll get the last hit on that one.
So that's 2 towers apiece, both sides taking 2 tier 1s. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there will a third one being attempted by IG. As we'll see whether or not Aggressor can finish this one off. Silent nearby, maybe going for a kill here. The blink initiation from Iceberg. He's been good so far. The Moonlight Shadows there. Have they got detection for this one with the Ensnare? Is there enough damage? It looks like they're going to be close. He leaps again. He leaps again. He TPs out. He's still in biz. He's going to survive. The dust was there if he needed it. Iceberg, I think, had the right click anyways. And they make it home. Nyx is hunting for a courier behind the tower, but it is flying over some trees, so not sure Baboka's going to find this one.
It's hard. He doesn't have vision either. His observer didn't spot it, so he's just going to give up. Maybe he could have made the assumption that it was over trees because his obs didn't see it walking down the lane like that, but it's still really hard to grab.
Yeah. Not even sure it was intentionally over the trees. Winstrike just happened to deliver the item by the very far left of the map. But
they're trying to kill the Weaver down here. If they can doom him Before he gets Tsukuchi off, that's how you get the kill. But
I think Weaver saw. Well, you won't see this Nyx Assassin. Can they follow up the Impale with anything? They've got a
catch up.
All sentries there. Oh, he hits him with the Carapace, followed up by an Impale. Sunstrike there as well, but
too hard.
Winstrike Weaver will survive. Time lapse being used just to be sure, as SRF wasn't really able to follow it up anyways.
Yeah, they didn't have detection, so they could guess that he was there. The Sunstrike hits, but he's still going to be invis for another 2 seconds.
SRF comes in, wants to devour that catapult. Doesn't quite get it here. The swap is going to cancel Silence TP as Newbee immediately goes in with a Walrus Punch to try and save his life here. Q is in chase. There's a Sunstrike going to land, get Silent fairly low here. They've got to be very careful of Iceberg's damage potential. This Tiny has Blink and the toss combo.
Playing it safe. Aggressive is definitely the guy they can snag. Boko's standing nearby. No global silence.
Yeah. XXS is just going to be throwing Sunstrikes from the bottom lane, it seems like. Doesn't want to actually join his team, and he's doing some good damage. Alacrity on a catapult.
Okay, that's good. I was going to say, a bit of a weak rotation from IG, but no heroes lost. They do some tower damage, it'll be alright.
With Alacrity, it does 160 damage to a tower. 10 Alacrity tower shots kill a tower. A tier 2. That's not even
smoking through mid as well. They're going to try to catch the Weaver again. They just need detection. Put a sentry down, swap into the Doom, maybe a stun or something like that.
Got the dust, and he does have time lapse. If he can time lapse off the dust and then invis, it could work. But they're going to find a more straightforward kill.
Not the one they wanted.
No, it's not. They were hoping Weaver left the protection of the tower, moved away so they could go in, but
that just felt like a sacrificial support thing. Like, you know what? We know they're in our jungle somewhere. They disappeared from top. They're going to gank.
They are positioned to take a tier 2 off of that gank. So even though it's just the support, it still feels okay if Winstrike aren't in position to defend down bottom, which seems to be the case. And Benj Wave, they're actually unsure about this. They feel like Winstrike may be around, so they're going to back off and continue to farm.
Well, he is ready to help out if needed. The TP comes in, global's up.
It's a very low respawn.
Is the defusal ready on Weaver as well? I went for the experience talent, not the extra mana break. Feeling like he wants to get more levels.
Tower's deniable if they want to deny it. Not sure that's the case.
Yeah. Not always something you want to do.
Yeah, you kind of bait with it, and also it's like, if you want to ever go farm that bottom lane, you can TP to it. It's not like tower's deniable, you want to deny it right away.
Do you ever play much Lycan by any chance? I was kind of curious why he didn't go boots. Seems like a lot of Lycans are going treads, but not silent this game.
So yeah, you either go treads or no boots at all. Like you don't really see brown boots Lycan. I mean, the gist of it is you don't benefit from boots in your ultimate. The downside is that moving from camp to camp can be kind of slow. But Lycan's base movement speed is pretty decent to begin with. It's just the amount it slows down your Necro 3. This is as a timing-based hero. Makes a big difference. Like, he's going to have Necro 3 at a really nice, 18-19 minute timing, whereas if you get the treads, it can delay it to maybe 20, 21, and that can often just be like another extra item on your opposing team.
And the damage difference is not that big between each Necro. They're all pretty good, but once you have Necro 3, then you have True Sight on it, and then they're going to spot Invis Nyx and also Pot Multi is maybe why they're
down bottom.
About doing it.
Gets gone on by Weaver. Could look for a TP out here as the Crimson Guard. He's going to go for this. A snowball following this one up. Throws the Doom on the Weaver, actually. Global Silence coming out as well. SRF should be dead here, even with the Crimson Guard. He's charging forward, throwing away his life for this one. Q in the trees. Doesn't... Oh, going to go for the TP. Can he make it in time? He makes it out. Good call from Q.
Just ran out of stunts. Only so many.
This is definitely the stage of the game. Ooh, Mirana caught out by Tiny. Not going to go down. This is a game where things get pretty scary, though, with the Lycan push.
That catch was so huge. Like, Mirana's not dead, but...
What a snowball. He goes forward. He dodges the Nyx Impale. He goes forward, though. He's just going to bite them in the ass here as Nyx Baboka trying to use his Carapace to keep himself alive, but that's not going to be successful. Always when a fly gets another +2. Pay for it with his life. Mirana dies further back.
She got earned.
Oh, the earned damage over time. And Tusk got a solo kill gold for that. No fear is going to be very happy with that 800 gold bounty.
And not just Tusk, but Tiny. Like, he goes in and does that burst. He knows he's not going to kill him, but then when the next fight happens, then Mirana's playing around at 40% HP. And he didn't even land the snowball on him. He went for the Joker, but a little bit of follow-up and the earn charge, and he gets a kill on a huge core. That's the most farmed hero in the game. All because Iceberg set that up with a little bit of harass, swinging in from a weird angle. It's a really nice play.
Winstrike going to grab 3 bounty runes. We're thinking less of a focus and you know, strategy forming around bounty runes. Last game with the Alka was like every time bounty runes were coming up, IG would smoke, Winstrike would group up to fight bounty runes. This time it's like, okay, no Alka in the game, let's just play around towers a bit more. Because there's a Lycan. This Lycan doesn't care as much about bounty runes, he just wants these towers down.
They don't have global for another 30 seconds. They'd use it in the fight 1 or 2 before. But IG's going to group and try to push and defend against this once again.
Sunstrike's checking Roshan to make sure that's not going down. Definitely between towers, you often want to try and get that Rosh. Not too early. Like, even though you can kill Rosh at this stage of the game, you kind of want to bring down the remaining tier 1, tier 2 towers first, just so you can get some better map control.
Better map control, more golds, less places for them to teleport, less places you need sentries, essentially.
Yeah. As for IG, they've got a pretty fun Invoker here, so they're going to smoke up and try and make some plays. The Crimson Guard rush on SRF. He's playing as the Lycan counter with Crimson Guard into Shivers.
Okay. Picks up War Stomp as well. That'll be a really nice way to not spend a huge spell, perhaps, to disable some of those Lycan units.
Lane, Nexus scouting, he's going to run right into Nofear's Task Beam, Hail into Venture, into Arrow, Sunstrike is there. XXXS gets the kill, perfect chain stun. And good play from IG, but tier 1 tower top could be claimed. It's very low. They may just backdoor this one. I believe that probably is the right call. Is it going to be glyphed if Winstrike are ready? And they will.
Feels like that cliff is so dangerous. Like right in front of the Radiant tier 2. There's so many little engagements that start or end there.
Yeah.
If you're on the wrong side of that one when your opponents are there, it just feels like an easy engagement. Because it's like you just have this little... It's a wide cliff, I guess, but there's so many different angles that they can collapse on you from.
You go Winstrike. They've got the Necro 3 up. They've got the Alpha Wolf dominated by Silent as well, and they're actually smoking away from the Lycan. Pretending the Lycan's got backup, but in reality, they're all going top lane. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to find anyone. Q's already TP'd out. It seems like it was perhaps a bit too well read by IG what was going on.
Yeah, the ward spotted them too. So,
yeah,
they did ping it actually, but
they ran past the Dire Ward with the Necro 3. Maybe they were just out of range. Sunstrike will scout them in the Rosh pit. This Rosh dies incredibly fast. They look to maybe deal with this Tusk who's in the trees here. Is there a tornado? This may just be too late. Rosh is already dead. SRF is going to have to just back off, and IG need to be careful not to get caught out here. The Lycan is going to go chasing here. The Tusk is trying to deal with some of these heroes as well. He gets a toss up on the Nyx Assassin, and Iceberg's taken out Baboka. They want more and they'll get more. They get the Venge as well. SRF trapped in an Ice Shot as well. He's in all sorts of trouble. This Crimson Guard will only help you so much, and with Iceberg's toss coming back up, or Avalanche as well, he's going to go looking for more kills. Doom out on the Weaver. This should be the death of Non-Grata. The Starstorm makes sure of it, but it's still a 3-for-1 trade as Winstrike very low in health. Sunstrike, not enough money. He's got it now. Does he go for it? He's not going to land it.
A little abnormal walk in there, but a great team fight start. The instant blink punch from Tusk and the rest of the Invictus gaming heroes are kind of forced to retreat. And that's the benefit of having global silence, and it's definitely the benefit of having these really mobile carries. Weaver runs straight at your opponents. Tiny goes for blink tosses, and making the same thing, turns on his ulti and runs you down. And if all these guys are running you down and your silence, how can IG ever win this fight? They have to initiate with a Doom on the Weaver while chain stunning and killing another hero. That's how they win fights. And the silencer is just completely preventing that as long as somebody in Winstrike doesn't get out of position.
The Doom Crimson Guard hasn't felt amazing, and it's kind of like this. It feels good if you're on an even 5v5 fight where you're both running each other's using spells, but so far it's just been, oh, we gotta run, Lycan use ulti Necro 3, we gotta run away. And when you're running away, it makes you stay alive longer, but it's never gonna, like, be used to its full effectiveness if you're not actually fighting with it, you're just retreating.
Yeah, in some ways I feel like he needs either a Shadow Blade or a Blink because he can't start these fights. And yes, if they have global and they global first, your Blink feels like a dead item and you die maybe too fast, but see if they can catch Baboka here. Tornado's trying to slow it down, but
unfortunately goes right through their snowballing bodies.
Is a DD. We'll see this tower fall pretty fast.
Snowballs go through tornadoes? What is this, Kevin?
I don't know. That
doesn't sound right.
Compact snow, and it's a sphere, so it's wind resistant, something like that.
Yeah, it's not scientific enough to me. I'll take your word for it.
So yes, he's tanky on Doom, but he can't also initiate. So it's like counterintuitive. He can't find the Weaver outside of like a Nyx setting up a stun while he jumps out of tree. Like the fact he doesn't have either of those items, I think is crazy. Like certainly you don't get the plate mail on top of the Crimson Guard. It's just overkill.
Going All in with the defensive and lack of initiation. They're all reliant on Nyx, who doesn't have a blink or force staff or anything himself. He's gone for a hood. Venge has swap level 2. Maybe we'll look into some of those plays we saw last game, where it was the swap into arrow, where you just do those long-range arrows to where the Venge is standing and swap somebody on top of it. That may be the call, at least for the high ground defense. That looked very good. I'm not really sure that's something you can rely on outside the base.
Well, they're going to hit buildings once again with the Aegis. They feel very comfortable taking a fight. Global silence as well, but always want to fly, doing the smart thing, hiding within trees where his opponents aren't going to spot him. And
this push is scary. Tiny with tree grab. Vlad's picked up on silent. They are hidden hard. We're going to see it. Tiny goes blinking, and the global silence to back him up as well. Invoker, he's actually caught out. He's way too far forward. He's going to die. He's going to be forced probably a buyback here as they look to go for the tier 3 towers. Crimson Guard is going to delay the push, reduce a lot of this damage on the buildings. No buyback yet from Invoker. So we do see a continued push coming. Top lane, Mirana's been delayed and prevented from TP. Tuska's fallen, but it's Venge who's going to take the next spill, and now the Invoker buys back. Glyph coming out as well. Aggressive is just stuck. Mirana's not even here for this defense here. Luckily, they catch the Tiny with the Doom. He'll pop the Aegis. That may end this push. Yeah, they're tipping SRF.
That was a bit of a questionable dude, but they do kill him. They get the Chainstone follow, but
it's a dieback.
It's over now. Like, they have nothing left to follow it up with.
Mirana is still not here, by the way, Kevin. Mirana has been getting chased around the entire top side of the map by the Tusk. Not just the Mirana, but Tusk has not been here, and that's a much bigger loss for IG, who need this Mirana. They're tipping aggressive. Newbee is like, look what I just did to you, my friend. Tiny's in behind the racks here. He's going for the kills. He wants it. He kicks out Mirana, and no buyback as well. Both carries from IG are completely missing for the next 30 seconds, and IG, they GG out. They're just done. They say, we're going home. We're packing our bags. We're headed to the airport. It's over.
Oh, it's gotta feel so frustrating to get knocked out like that, getting so many wins in the groups, but they did the least good out of the whole group stage, and Winstrike just ran them over in so many ways.
That looked like a broken team there. That final minute just said so much. The way they GG'd out, the way Aggressive got stuck, trapped at that top shrine area and couldn't defend. Raxes are falling and your carry player is missing. That was brutal for IG, and they probably went in today thinking
Winstrike. 1 minute. 30 seconds. 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 1 minute. 30 se you